we are going to see about the neural networks. So in the neural networks, it's like a functionality of our brain. So in brain, how the neurons are getting connected, and then all the actions will be taken by the brain, and then according to that only the neurons will be getting the signals to react for the particular situation. So likewise, the neural networks also is made up of the same concept only. So here the goal of the neural networks is to learn the mechanism of our brain, and then it is made up of neurons and synapses. We have many variants of neural networks based on how the neurons are connected, and then we employ that neural networks are like a black box which has a number of inputs and outputs. Its task is to classify the objects. So here the neurons are getting connected to each other. So once the signal is reached to the particular neuron, it is automatically forwarded to all the neurons which are getting interconnected through the neural networks. So all what we have to do here is to determine the strength of connection of every synapses called synaptic weight. So we need to determine that synaptic weight for each neuron. And then in the neural networks, the main purpose is that we need to adjust each of the weight values starting with a set of random values. So what we need to do is we need to adjust the weight values which you are passing as an input to the neural network. So by varying the input which you are giving to them, this may lead to have the learning mechanism in the neural network. So that is probably we are calling that as a learning of neural networks, and most probably we are naming this type of learning methodology as a back propagation. So that is by giving the input as a weight values, and then by adjusting the values of the weight which you are giving as an input with a set of some random values, the network is trying to learn something with the weight. So that is said to be the learning of neural networks. So we are terming that concept to be as a back propagation. And then we have an example for the neural networks. So how we can recognize the handwritten characters by giving some pixel values as the input. So if you need to recognize the handwritten characters, so the input which you are going to give to the neural networks is about the pixel values. With that, they will be identifying the a pixel value which is corresponding to which character it is, so that it is easy to recognize a particular character. And then the next example is that we can classify the coins inserted into the Coke machine by giving some features like diameters and weight of the coin. So here for each example, the thing is that what the input we are going to give to the particular neural network is matters here. So here if you need to identify the coins variation, or if you are going to classify the coins in a Coke machine, then we need to show the difference in terms of two features as diameters and then weight of the coin. Based on that, they can able to identify the coin of which variety or which classification to it belongs. And then the next example is that we can identify the jet fighter as enemies. So by a set of data from the radar image. So the radar image we will be getting the input as the image format. So from that they can able to identify that who is if any anonymous is entering, so they can identify that, and they can able to make a decision. So that is in case of jet fighter they are using this kind of neural networks application. And then this is a diagram of about the neural networks. So if this shows about the first diagram, it shows about the neural network, where the neural network is consist of the synapses and then dendrites. Along with that, the nucleus is present as the center point, and then the axon is there. And then here we are comparing it with the artificial neural networks. In the artificial neural networks, we are giving the number of neurons, where the number of neurons as given as an input, it will be summing up to get the threshold value, which is to be a expected output. So here the neurons are getting fired, and then finally we will be getting the threshold value. So that's the work of the artificial neural networks. And then here in the neural network, the human brain consists of 10 power of 11 neurons and 10 power of 14 synapses. A neuron consists of soma, that is a cell body, and then axons and dendroids. So the work of soma is, that is a cell body is of soma, and then the axons is that which used to send the signals, and then dendroids is which is used to receive the signals. The synapses connects an axon to the dendroid. So when a signal is given, a synapses might increase or it decrease the electrical potential, so that a neuron fires when its electrical potential reaches the threshold. Learning might occur by changes to the synapses. So this is what the explanation which I have given in the diagram itself. So whatever the neurons which were the input are given at the input end along with the weight values, that will be summed up, and then that will be summed up together, and then after that it will be triggering to the neuron to fire up to reach the threshold value. So this what happens in the ANN, that is artificial neural network. So I have divided this neural network into two sessions part. So in the first session we have discussed about everything about the neural networks, about the basics of how about it is working, and then what are all the applications of the neural networks we have learned, and then the diagrammatic picture of about the neural networks, that is the individual neuron, and then the collection of neurons that is formed as a artificial neural network. So this session is ending up with this, and then in the next section we are going to discuss about the ANN network briefly. Thank you.